Is the training for the new offender entry website, new as of March 2023. My name is Eric Perry, and I am a criminalist in the DNA section. Here's my contact information if you need to contact me in the future. It will also be at the very last slide. So as an overview, the crime lab has a lot of sections. We are mainly going to focus on the 2 DNA sections, but mainly the database section, which we also call Profiling Convicted Offenders, or PCO. When talking about the DNA sections, we need to talk about CODIS. So first off, CODIS, what is it? CODIS stands for Combined DNA Index System. It is a database that was created by the FBI that stores and compares DNA samples to each other. It has 2 main sides. One side where evidence comes into the lab from crime scenes, and then we develop a DNA profile from that evidence, then put that unknown profile into CODIS. The other side, we obtain a known DNA sample from people convicted of certain crimes, develop that profile, and then put that into CODIS. Then in CODIS, the software will compare all the profiles together, and if profiles match each other, then we would call that a hit. What's it used for? It's used to assist criminal justice agencies by developing investigative leads, which link offenders to DNA profiles obtained from crime scenes. The thought of this also is to deter future criminal acts. So here's a little history lesson for you guys. In 2000, we began collecting convicted offender profiles from the 11 major offenses. In 2005, we expanded, the law expanded, and it had expanded collecting to include all felonies and all sex crimes. In 2014, the law expanded further to include most aggravated misdemeanors. I'll get to the exceptions in a bit. So all you need to know is that it's all felonies, all sex crimes, and most aggravated misdemeanors. Should also be noted for aggravated misdemeanors, that law does not apply to juveniles. So if a person who is under the age of 18, they are convicted of a aggravated misdemeanor, that is not a collectible offense. But if they do get convicted of a felony or a sex crime, that is a collectible offense. Okay, here's the exception to the aggravated misdemeanor laws. The bottom 3 are the easy ones to understand, but they are hazardous waste offenses, agricultural production offenses, and illegal gaming. The top one is a little harder to understand. Feel free to read through it, but it essentially means for a collectible offense, you need to have 2 OWIs within a 12-year period, and both of them need to have their license revoked. If those qualifications have not been met for a person with 2 OWIs, then that is not a collectible offense. If they have 3 OWIs, that's a felony, so that's automatic collection. If they don't have if they only have 1 revocation, that wouldn't be a collectible offense. Okay. So who is responsible for collecting? It's the supervising agency that has control, custody, or jurisdiction over a person shall collect their sample. So if they're in your jail, they're in your prison, you're their probation officer, you're your agency should be the one to collect them. Yes, you are immune from liability if you perform your duties in good faith, act in a reasonable manner, and act in accordance with administrative rules. If a DNA profile is obtained by mistake or error, like you collect them before they're actually convicted of said crime, and then you send that in and we get a hit on that, get a hit in CODIS on that, that hit is still valid. We will have, however, need to expunge that DNA profile from CODIS and from our system. But if they now have a collectible offense, then we would just ask for a recollection. When should a DNA sample be taken? Essentially, just follow your agency's policies, but it's as soon as practical. If they are confined, just as soon as you can. If a person is not confined or out on parole or probation or something, you have to determine the date and time. Scope of collections, feel free to read through all of these. However, the one that I want to highlight is the sex offender registry. If a person is on the sex offender registry and they move to Iowa, so let's say they have their DNA in a different state because they're on the sex offender registry, they move to Iowa or they come to Iowa in prison or something, you would need to collect them for Iowa, even though they've been collected in a different state. If they're a brand new sex offender register, only lived in Iowa, obviously collect them as well. But if they have just moved, you still need to collect them. Okay. What about prior offenses? So if a person gets arrested or taken to the jail first or wherever for a non-qualifying offense, but you look through the offender entry website, you look them up, and you see they have a qualifying offense or they need to be collected. Even if it wasn't for this time, you still should collect them, even if they were not convicted or jailed for a collectible offense this time around. But if you look on their rap sheet and they had previously, still you must give a DNA sample. They must give a DNA sample. And like I said before, if they are on the sex offender registry and had not previously been collected. The ways you can search to see if they need a collection, the offender entry website, which I will get to, the sex offender registry, CCH, or using the rap sheets, or the ICON database. If all those fail or you still have questions, feel free to call the DCI Crime Lab and ask. I would ask to talk to the CODIS administrator, who is Erica Name. Here are the steps to look in the sex offender registry. For the rap sheets, it will essentially tell you if they need to be collected in that. The very top will have 3 different possibilities that I can say. The first 2 are pretty self-explanatory. Those are DNA sample required and DNA sample not required. Then the last one is kind of the troublesome one. So the last one reads, failure to determine DNA collection eligibility, manual records check advised. It just means to the programming, it is not clear if the person needs to be collected or not. So you'll have to look through the rap sheet manually to determine for yourself. If it should also be noted that the rap sheet takes a long time to update. So if you know for a fact that that the person in front of you should be collected because they just were convicted, or they have their paperwork in front of you from the judge, then that trumps whatever the rap sheet says, because again, the rap sheets might take a while to update. Okay, we're gonna go into the offender entry website now. Feel free to read this, but it essentially says that the website will give you a lot of information that shouldn't be used for anything bad or anything nefarious. And if it is, and you are caught, that is a felony and a collectible offense. In order to get registered, you will have to have a computer, a printer, internet access, completed the training provided by the Iowa DCI Crime Lab, which is this video right here, and then an offender entry website account. To get that account, you have to take a quiz, which is on the lab's website. I will take you there. I will show you where to find it. It's a very easy quiz. You just essentially email that finished quiz to me, and then I will give you access. But we will go over that in a bit. You should also highly remember this part. Okay, let's head to the website. So to get to the Crime Lab's website, literally all I do is Google DCI Crime Lab, and then it's the first option. So this is what you should see. You're going to scroll down, go to laboratory sections, then go to DNA Profiling Convicted Offender Unit. This is our page. You're going to scroll down. This is where you should be seeing the video. Right underneath is the quiz, and then underneath that it says Convicted Offender DNA Web Program. So right there, that's what you're going to want to click. I'm going to open it in a new tab. I will give you a username. It most likely will have numbers in it, but mine is my last name. And then the password I give you will be like some password number 1, and then it will prompt you to put in a new password so that it's more secure. So this is what it looks like right when you go in. It says it gives you the recent offenders you've put in. I will go over these. These are just testing ones because I don't want to put anybody's real name in there. You're probably not going to use this too much, but this just shows you all the ones that your agency has found or has collected. So you can look a bunch of people up by the agency that they were collected by, the collection date, or the offense. I don't think you're going to be using that too much. The first thing you're going to want to do is search. So when you do, so the reason why is we want to make sure that this person that you're searching is not already in the lab. We don't want duplicates unless we need a recollection. So if you read the 2 blue squares or boxes, they say to just use the numbers. So social security number, DCI number, that's what you should use to search somebody. Don't use their name because a lot of people have their names, and that search isn't as reliable. So I'm going to search the social security number of somebody, a fake somebody, don't worry. Okay, search. So as you can see, Mr. Club, Sandwich Club, has been already entered. And then right here where it says recollect, there is nothing indicating that it needs a recollection. So if this were to happen to you, you look somebody up by their social security number, the icon number or whatever, and they pop up, it indicates they do not need a recollection. You do not need to collect them. Now, let's look up somebody else. Okay, now this person, Mr. Pikachu, we also have them, but it says recollect, true, or T. So this means that they need to be recollected. So in that case, you're going to want to move forward with the collection process. Okay, so after searching, let's say you looked somebody up and they were not in there. Let's try this number just to be sure. Okay, no cases found. That means they have not been collected yet. So you're going to go to new offender entry. This will also have a search aspect to it too. The reason why you want to do the search first, though, is because that will tell you whether or not it needs to be recollected. This does not. This just looks if we have a duplicate already. So again, you're going to want to only use the numbers. So I would only use Social Security or DOC number. If they are marked for recollection, it should let you recollect this. We have been having trouble with that. So if you if it indicates we need a recollection of a certain person, and then you go through this step by typing in the stuff, and then it won't let you enter the new offender, give us a call and we can walk you through on how to either fix it or to go around that. But right now, we're adding a new person completely. So I just have their social security number. I will do that. Search. No records found. Good. So then you can add, do new offender. This will show up. And the social security number will already be put in. So you're going to want to enter everything that is in red with an asterisk. Those are all the required, and that's all the required information. Also, you should note that you cannot save this to come back to later until everything in red is filled out already. So I'll try it right now just to show you. It says fields highlighted in yellow are required. So then once you do that, all this stuff is required. So let me typing it in. That's the kit I am using. Buckle FTA should be automatically put in. Same with the date collected and the times. Don't worry about that. Last name. This person's name is Potato. First name is Bud. They don't have a middle name. They were born today, actually. They have committed awful things, though, even though they've been born today. Also, although we only require the information that's now in yellow, add as much information as possible. So if you have the DOC number, the DCI number, the FBI number, any of that, put that in as well. It makes it easier for us on our end. I don't have any of that information, honestly. So I'm going to skip that. Qualifying offenses. So you just click what qualifying offense they have. I would go with the highest offense. So if they have an aggravated misdemeanor that's qualifying and a felony, just put the felony. For select all that to apply, it's not required, but just you would press the question mark and then it's a checkbox. So all of it. For submitting agency, that's already pre-put in for you. It should have your agency, not Porter Lee Corporation. Put your name here. Now, everything looks okay. Let's try save now. Okay, good. It's saving. So from here, you can either, you have a couple options. You can edit it from here. Before you press submit, you can edit. After you press submit to lab, you cannot edit anymore. So if you see something wrong before you press submit, you can edit and change that. You have the option to print. Right now, if you print, this is just a draft. It should come up. This is just a draft. It even says that. So this is not the final version. This is not what we need right now. So now you're going to click submit to lab. Record has been approved for submission. Good. Now what we need from you is for you to print this, the electronic DNA database collection card, because what we're looking for right here is this barcode right here. That is what we're going to use to put it into our system. So I will need you to print this out and then fold it and put it in with the sample that you collected and send that into the lab. Okay. That should be that about the offender entry website. So let's go back to, oh, before I forget, I'm sorry. Let's go, so the quiz, it is fairly easy. I'm clicking on it right now. You'll have to either print it off or I'm gonna get out of it so I'm not spoiling any of the questions, I guess. You will need to print it off and handwrite it and then scan it back in and email it to me. It also says it on the website. Email it to me, and then I will give you access. Or no, never mind. Sorry, just scan it in and email it to me. Okay, so retired, leaving, or let go. So if a person has been let go or has left your agency, please contact the lab as soon as possible so we can take away their access. Why? Because they have a computer, printer, internet access, and an offender entry website account. That's all you need to access the offender entry website. So we want to make sure that they don't have access to any of the information they should not have if they no longer work at your agency. The offender entry website contacts would be me, Tara Scott, and Erica Ning. Our contact information is on the last slide. It seems the majority of people contact me, and that's great. If I have any questions about the website, I typically go to Tara because she was really involved with creating the new website. So that's who I go to, but I would still just come to me because she is a very busy person. So I can transfer your information to her if needed. for any legal questions regarding whom to collect, contact Jeff Peter-Zalek. That's his information. And then here's our information at the end. This should be the end to the offender entry website training. From here, you can take the quiz and watch. We have another video also that is fairly in-depth on how to collect with the FTA cards. It is a bit older. It was made in like 2013 or 14. Is still good. So feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Please email me the quizzes, either filled out by hand, or if you can type it up, that's fine too. Thank you so much.